The sun simulator is real, and this is what they are going to use to fake the 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
In this video, we're going to cover the sun simulator because this is something that has been coming up full steam ever since this final experiment idea has taken off. And so as I looked more into the sun simulator, it's very interesting that this sun simulator looks just like the James Webb telescope.
Yeah, and flat earthers look like normal people.
Please subscribe.
Now, we've all heard flat earthers coming up with all sorts of stupid excuses to try and divert everyone's attention away from what the final experiment actually is. And in today's video, we're going to hear from somebody who is convinced that when we do see the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, it won't be the real sun. So let's get on with it, shall we?
How would the sun simulator actually work? So look, basically, I guess there's some patents on the sun simulator, and RFB had did a report on it back in 2016.
These people drive me absolutely insane. Now, we'll talk about what this is in just a second, but it definitely is not a sun simulator. Or at least it's not a sun simulator in the way that flat earthers are implying. And I guarantee you, and I haven't watched this video all the way through, I'm actually reacting to it in real time, but I guarantee he's about to show the patent for a solar simulator from the 1960s, I want to say.
Look this up for yourself. Patent number US 3247367, filed on October 31st, 1960.
Well, I'm getting pretty good at this. I knew that's what he was going to show, but sadly for flat earthers, the 1966 patent for a solar simulator describes a device intended for precise scientific testing in controlled environments, which is completely impractical and impossible to use as a global sun replacement. The claims of a sun simulator fooling the population are just completely insane and are definitely not supported by the technology described in this patent. I think he probably saw the word simulator and hey presto, 1 + 1 = 3.
The sun simulator is real, and this is what they are going to use to fake the 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Okay, well, how do you propose a solar simulator which can only illuminate a 20 by 20 by 20 foot area could be scaled up to illuminate the vast expanse of Antarctica? What about the logistics of deploying and maintaining hundreds or thousands of these solar simulators in the harsh and remote environment of Antarctica? How will that be managed? What evidence is there of the infrastructure needed for such a massive deployment, including power sources, maintenance crews and transportation?
No evidence.
And how would such a large-scale operation go unnoticed by the thousands of scientists, researchers and tourists who visit Antarctica annually?
So how would this thing work? In my opinion, it would probably be some type of reflection type thing. It might not even have to leave Earth.
Yeah, but when it comes to this sort of thing, your opinion is completely irrelevant. If you'd bothered to read the patent, you would probably have never claimed this in a video on YouTube. It's ridiculous. And it shows us all just how scared flat earthers are of the final experiment.
Because the way this thing is designed, it could possibly be something where it projects a reflection into the atmosphere, maybe like some type of holographic projection.
Yeah, there's no way you read the patent. Like I just said, it will only work on a 20 by 20 by 20 foot area. And a reflection is a phenomenon where light, sound or heat waves bounce off a surface and change direction. And the most common example is light reflecting off a mirror. So assuming that you are actually onto something, what exactly is it going to reflect off? Are we supposed to believe that somebody's going to hang a giant mirror in the sky for your sun simulator to reflect its rays off?
Also, there's other options like balloons, like how they use with satellites. A lot of people are discovering. So as far as how they're used in the sun simulator, it's not really clear. Let me know your ideas about how you think this thing might work.
My ideas? Well, how very kind of you. Do you not think that somebody may notice if there's thousands of hot air balloons in the sky with these solar simulators dangling off them? Just a thought.
But the thing is, with this James Webb telescope, it shows what we all thought was this telescope on some type of craft. It looks like some type of craft, but it's really, they're saying it's a satellite type thing. But yeah, as you just look at the picture of the James Webb telescope, it looks like it's on some type of advanced craft. So
now the craft is a solar array which converts sunlight into electricity to power Webb. The powerhouse of the telescope, the array, will supply energy to all of the telescope's scientific instruments and communications and propulsion systems. So cool.
So there's probably some type of technology out there that we're not aware of where they can maybe hang this sun simulator from it, and it might be able to go into the sky like that. But there's also, like I said, a reflective option where it could be some type of thing where it projects some type of holographic image of the sun into the sky.
I've got to ask, so did Will Duffy arrange all this? Exactly how much pull do you think a pastor from a small church in Colorado has got with the top brass at NASA? I mean, he would have to have some inside connections, wouldn't he, to be able to arrange all this just to fool two flat earthers who are going to Antarctica with the final experiment.
Who knows, really? I mean, when it comes down to it, really, the firmament is said to be kind of like a mirror anyway, so
trying to debunk the final experiment by using two completely insane hypotheses isn't enough for you. You've decided that you weren't sounding crazy enough, so you'd better mention the firmament as well. Okay, well, where is it? Why has nobody seen it? Who looks after it? Who keeps it clean? Blah, 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 blah.
Even with that idea, you might not even need a simulator, because
the real sun stays in the sky for 24 hours a day in December.
With the firmament, you don't know really what the sun is, and there's all types of hypotheses about what the sun actually is.
The sun is a star located at the center of our solar system, and it's almost a perfect sphere of hot plasma, primarily composed of hydrogen and helium. Now, about 74% of the sun's mass is hydrogen, which is its primary fuel for nuclear fusion. About 24% of the sun's mass is helium, and the remaining 2% includes heavier elements like oxygen, carbon, neon, and iron. So, in summary, the sun is a massive self-sustaining nuclear reactor that plays a crucial role in our solar system. So I don't think we need any stupid hypotheses from a flat earther about something we already know so much about. Hang on a second, if the sun is 24% helium, does that mean that if it could talk,
it would sound like this?
Because, like we said, with the daylight, I discussed this in my last video, I believe, where, yeah, daylight wouldn't prove anything. It would have to be something to where they actually see the sun circling.
Well, that's going to be handy for flat earthers then, because that's one of the observations that the final experiment is going to be making. What did you think? They were going to go all the way down there and then not look up?
And I actually would have thought that, couldn't they see something like that from South America, perhaps, like at the very southern part of South America?
No, they couldn't have, because that's nowhere near far enough south, which is why Union Glacier Camp was specifically chosen, because that is where you were definitely going to see a 24-hour sun.
Wouldn't they be able to see the 24 hours of sun there? Like, why would you have to actually go to Antarctica? I understand that would be a better view, but like with Alaska, it seems like you can go to Alaska. You don't have to go to the North Pole to see the 24-hour sun in the north area.
Yeah, but that's because the North Pole is located at 90 degrees north latitude, while the Arctic Circle is approximately 66.5 degrees north latitude. Now, parts of Alaska are north of the Arctic Circle, but not as far north as the North Pole itself. Now, some regions in Alaska which are above the Arctic Circle, the residents do experience a 24-hour sun from mid-May to late July. And during this period, the sun remains above the horizon for 24 hours a day. But I believe the reason Will chose Antarctica is because so many flat earthers have specifically claimed that there is no 24-hour sun down in Antarctica. So Will is taking you down there and showing you that there is.
My reports, this has been documented several times with the North Pole 24-hour sun, but with the South 24-hour sun, isn't that suspicious that that's never been confirmed?
Well, it has, so no, it's not suspicious. But you know what is suspicious? What you just said. So you were clearly a flat earther, and you just said that there's a 24-hour sun in the North Pole and parts of Alaska, which is correct. So why is it so difficult for flat earthers to believe that there's going to be exactly the same thing in the South Pole, or more specifically at Union Glacier Camp in Antarctica? I don't get it. I do not see any logic in anything you're saying.
Like, there's all these doubts because it hasn't been confirmed. And now I'm hearing reports that Neil deGrasse Tyson and William Shatner are headed to Antarctica right around the same time as this final experiment. So that kind of says that this could be something to where they're setting up for this to be some type of, deception. Maybe they're trying to put this flat earth discussion to rest.
Well, to be fair, that's exactly what Will is hoping will happen after the final experiment. I disagree, respectfully, because I happen to think that flat earthers are just going to find different ways of flat earthing. And what the hell has Neil deGrasse Tyson and William Shatner being in Antarctica at the same time got to do with anything? And why exactly would that make it even more suspicious to you?
Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about the sun simulator. I find it very interesting. I mean, there's been footage of suspected sun simulator in the sky. They're saying they saw like this dark spot in the center. Some people are saying that could be the holographic proof.
Or it's just the sunspot. And if there's footage of this so-called sun with a black spot in the center, which completely debunks everything that the final experiment is about, why didn't you include it in your video?
But I don't know. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. I'm going to leave a link for you if you want to do more research with me on this subject about the final experiment.
Research? Yeah, right. All you've done in your video is say, that looks a bit off to me, therefore it's all fake. Okay, so thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it and want to help support the channel, there are a few awesome ways you can support what I do. You can join my Patreon, and by becoming a Patreon, you'll get access to videos like this completely ad-free. Plus, there's some exclusive perks just for Patreons. Secondly, you can check out my merch store at creakyblinder.com. And lastly, you can check out my Amazon wish list. They're all linked below this video. Every little bit helps, and it lets me keep creating the content you all enjoy. Your support means an absolute ton to me, and I'm very grateful to have you all here supporting what I do. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you, bye.